In sim racing, there is a very expensive mistake that almost everyone makes. I call it the upgrade tax. You buy a gear-driven wheel and outgrow it in 90 days. You upgrade to a 5 or 8 Newton meter direct drive, and while it's smooth, you eventually realize you're running out of headroom and clipping some of the peaks the sim is trying to send you. For years, if you wanted top-tier direct drive fidelity, PlayStation options were limited and expensive. Not anymore. This is the Fanatec ClubSport DD+. It sits right at the intersection of consumer ease and prosumer performance. Based on the specs and performance data across every major sim, this base is shaping up to be the single best piece of hardware Fanatec has ever released. Does 15 Newton meters actually matter? Is the Sony Tax worth it? Let's find out. There is a massive misconception in this hobby. People see 15 Newton meters on the box and think, I don't want to wrestle my car for an hour, so I don't need all that power. That is fundamentally wrong. Torque is not about weight. Torque represents dynamic range. Think of this like a high-end sound system. If you try to run a tiny Bluetooth speaker at 100% volume, what happens? Distortion, clipping, it sounds like garbage. But if you run a massive concert stack at 10% volume, the clarity is absolute crystal. That is what the DD Plus gives you. Headroom. When you're sweeping through a corner in a GT3 car, you might only be holding 6 or 7 Newton meters of force. But the second you hit a curb, or the suspension bottoms out, the wheel needs to instantly spike to 12 or 13 Newton meters to tell your brain what happened. Weaker bases clip that signal. They flatten the data. The DD Plus delivers that spike cleanly with very fast torque response. In sims like Assetto Corsa Competizione or iRacing, a big part of what drivers feel is the wheelbase's response slew rate, how fast it can change torque output. Because this motor is so powerful, it doesn't just feel heavy, it feels urgent. This allows you to catch slides earlier because the wheel communicates the loss of grip faster than your eyes can see it. Physically, the unit is a tank. Fanatec has ditched the internal fans for an industrial, passive cooling fin design. Even during 90-minute endurance stints at high force, these units are designed to avoid thermal throttling. The force feedback on the final lap feels exactly as precise as it did on turn 1. But honestly, the motor isn't even the best physical upgrade here. It's the quick release. The DD Plus comes with the QR2 base side pre-installed. And if you've suffered through the old QR1, you know the pain. The clicking, the wobbling, the feeling that your expensive wheel was held on by hope and a prayer. The QR2 is a solid block of machined geometry. It looks and acts as if the steering wheel is welded to the shaft. This rigidity is vital because, going back to the torque, if you have mechanical play in your QR, you lose that fine detail before it ever reaches your hands. Now, we have to talk about the price and the darker side of this ecosystem. You are going to pay a premium for this base, and part of that is what we call the Sony Tax. This is a sophisticated, Sony-licensed product. There is a security chip inside the base that handles the handshake with a PS5 or PS4. It is strictly plug and play. No drive hub dongles, no spoofing signals, no headaches. If you are a PC-only racer, if you know for a fact you will never touch Gran Turismo 7, you are paying for a chip you won't use. You might want to look at the standard ClubSport DD or other competitors. However, for the console racer or the hybrid racer, the flexibility here is genius. It works on inverted logic. PlayStation compatibility lives in the base. Xbox compatibility lives in the steering wheel rim. So if you put an Xbox licensed rim on this specific base, congratulations. You now have a direct drive rig that works on PS5, PS4, Xbox One Series, and PC. It covers every major platform. Is it perfect? No. You still have to live inside Fanatec's walled garden. They really want you using their ecosystem. While third-party wheels are possible, you usually need a podium hub, universal hub, or a third-party emulator, so the base detects a compatible wheel and enables force feedback. It's not as open-source friendly as something like a Simucube. You also have the new Full Force protocol in here. This is Fanatec's answer to Logitech's True Force, an added high-frequency effects layer alongside standard force feedback for things like engine rumble and road texture. When it works, it's incredible immersion, but do not buy this base just for full force. Developer support is still rolling out. Treat it as a future-proofing bonus, not a core feature. By the way, if you've decided this is your endgame base, I've dropped a link in the description. It helps the channel, and I keep it updated with current stock, which for Fanatec is always a roller coaster. Here is the verdict. If you are a hybrid racer, someone who races Gran Turismo 7 on the weekends, but jumps into iRacing competitive lobbies on Tuesday nights, the Fanatec ClubSport DD Plus is unrivaled. There is simply nothing else on the market that offers this specific combination of industrial-grade torque, 15 Nm torque headroom, and plug-and-play console simplicity. It stops the upgrade cycle. It moves you out of the toy category and into the simulation category. And unless you plan on going pro, you won't feel the need to replace this for 5 or 10 years. Of course, a 15 Nm base is useless if you pair it with a flexy, cheap plastic rim. So, which steering wheel should you actually buy for this monster? Click this video right here to check out another video that'll help you level up your sim racing. See you on the track.